The Boston Bruins have sent a serious message to Don Sweeney with the first game of Matthew Poitras called up being an absolute W. We're going to be talking about this game and what many of the players and staff had to say about this game and almost seemingly calling out Don Sweeney. We're going to be talking about that here in this video. Before we get into it, though, we're on the road to 6K, and we notice the portion of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button. Join me here on the channel. We're covering everything Boston Bruins. But without any further ado, let's get into this game. Let's take a look at the hockey stat card first. And as you can see, a lot of positive here in this game. Of course, Brandon Carlo, a guy who suffered quite a bit with the absence of Elias Lindholm, who was placed on LTIR retroactive to whenever the injury occurred. I do not remember the exact date, but that was just a cap move for the time being. I saw some people kind of worry about that on Twitter and everything, but that move is just fine. That's just to make a bit more cap room to be able to call up Michael Callahan, Matt Poitras, and Vinny Lettieri. But a big game here from David Pastrnak, Pavel Zacha, Andrew Peeke. Nice to see him up at the top here with a goal and an assist last night. Brad Marchand, and right below him, Matt Poitras. A very good game from him. Back like he never left. Back better than ever. With that assist going to Trent Frederic, what a smart play by Matt Poitras. They're holding the puck long enough to make the defender slide, swing it over to Trent Frederic, and just put it right in the back of the net. A beautiful play by him. And, the rest of the game was pretty solid overall, but I do want to head onto the box score and give a shout-out to a guy who was not on the hockey stat card. If you know the hockey stat card as well as I do, the goaltender is the only one not on that. Jeremy Swayman, what a game from him. 43 saves on 45 shots. He was stellar in this game and has been one of the best goalies since Christmas on the 8 games played, I believe. I do have a stat for that later. I will get into that. But just an incredible game from Jeremy Swayman here in this one. Really held this team into it against the Tampa team that really was looking for a win, and the game that the Bruins needed to make sure that they won, especially with all of these Atlantic Division matchups. But looking at what we saw in this game, David Pastrnak, a goal and 2 assists. Brad Marchand, a goal and assist. Andrew Peeke, a goal and assist. Parker Wotherspoon, his first NHL goal. Trent Frederic, his first goal since, I believe, January 4th or 8th. And looking to round that off, Charlie Coyle, the guy who was sick. He had that Michael Jordan flu game coming in here with an assist. Elias Lindholm with an assist. And, of course, Matthew Poitras with the assist as well to fully round out this exact perfect game for what they needed to do with a very short roster. But what a game it was. Very happy to see Poitras back in the lineup. Didn't miss a beat. And it certainly seems like a lot of people were calling out Don Sweeney with the whole situation of seeing Matthew Poitras come into this game right away, get on the score sheet, get a goal for Trent Frederic, and really set this game on the direction that we went and won it with. We have a quote here, or that we'll get into a bit from Joe Sacco, kind of covering what we saw in this game, what he thought about the game, and what a new player means to this lineup. This is what he had to say on the matter. He says, having a couple of new guys come into our lineup, it's good. It brings a different feel to the room and brings some energy to the room. And now, I don't know about you, but looking at this, in my opinion, looking what Joe Sacco had to say, his demeanor and everything, the way that this team played, certainly seems like he is very happy to see some different guys come in the room. Not saying that he don't like the guys that are already there, but having some new faces, especially one that deserves to be there, in Matt Poitras, certainly was a refreshing breath of air, and seeing him come in, get a big win against Tampa, play amazing, frankly, really was what the Bruins needed. Let me know what you think about that and below. Let me know what you think about that comment. Do you think that we're kind of on the board of this team starting to turn against Don Sweeney if they haven't already? Certainly seems like that's what the quote from Joe Sacco meant to me, at least, but let's move on to what we have here. Sacco has this to say about Matt Poitras as well. He said, I think you could tell right away it energized our group. Another little piece about what calling out Don Sweeney really seems to look like from this team. And Joe Sacco once again saying that it energized the group. Everybody wanted to see Matt Poitras on this lineup. And after waiting so long to see him back with this team, after, 20 points in 23 games in the AHL, Matt Poitras deserved to come up. And we were getting to a point where we really didn't know if we would see him again this season at the NHL level, but he certainly has come up with a big club once again and played a big role in this win here. And Sacco could not be more correct about this and exactly what everybody watching that game was thinking. But further on, this is what I meant to say about Jeremy Swayman. The game that was really a lot of spotlight on Matt Poitras, on the short roster. The credit has to be given to Jeremy Swayman here as well. Since Christmas, Jeremy Swayman has started more games, he has 8, than any other goaltender. Mackenzie Blackwood, I also believe, has 8, and playing very well as well, so got to give credit to him. But than any other goaltender in the NHL, and has a .925 save percentage. Now, he's only 2-2 in those games, quite a high goals against, but you got to see the shots coming on him. There is not one easy save that Jeremy Swayman has made in any of these games in the past, I would even argue 8 of those games on this list. It's very nice to see that he's coming in back into this lineup, coming back to feel the way he has, and that's even what he had to say. I don't have the quote here in this video, but he said that the job's not done. He's saying that, he's feeling himself again. He's finally getting back in the rhythm, but still, he got to help out this team. The team's helping him. It's a double-sided coin, and I love Jeremy Swayman for saying that. Got to say that he's still hoping on this team, banking on this team. He's playing well, but he knows that there's still a lot more to go, and hopefully we do see this down the stretch. The Bruins are going to need to see this down the stretch, I should add, as well, especially when we head into more of these games against some Atlantic teams, some games that we need to win, some games that are going to be very challenging down the stretch. And this is what we're looking at, is a full team effort like we saw here tonight, but starts with Jeremy Swayman, then goes through the rest of the lineup. And as well, Joonas Korpisalo, I should mention as well, playing a big role in these games as well. Not this game in specific, but these games as well, upcoming and the previous few. But looking at the next few games in the schedule, we need to see Joonas Korpisalo here in a game. We cannot burn out Jeremy Swayman. We need Korpisalo to come back here, stay hot, stay warm, and let Jeremy Swayman have a game here or there. We know now that we can trust Joonas Korpisalo. We've been able to see throughout the season how good of a goalie he can be and how good of a goalie he is when in the right situation. Under Bob Estes, this is the perfect spot for him. So hopefully we do see him, let's just say, before the Ottawa game, maybe in the Ottawa game. We'll have to see. There's a few games upcoming on the schedule that they're going to want to win, so we'll determine really who's going to be in net for then. And once again, I'll have the updates for you guys regarding that when we do get there and when we have that morning skate down the line. But we have another screenshot here looking at a pretty scary injury update. Cole Koepke hit to the head from Radish, and certainly a penalty not called. Reviewed for a 5, went back and said there was no penalty on the play. No update from Cole Koepke, said Joe Sacco, courtesy of Connor Ryan. And Scott McLaughlin said, Sacco says he thought the first point of contact on the hit for Koepke was the head and did not have an update on him. So looking at what we're seeing, hopefully we see Cole Koepke healthy again. He's played a big role with this team early on success and still has played a very solid role this season. We've seen a lot of injuries for this team right now, especially yesterday when we did see Charlie McAvoy go in the IR. We saw Michael Callahan. We saw Matt Poitras, of course, called up. And there's a few injuries that this team has we don't want to see anymore. And we have a lot of guys in the AHL, in the NHL right now, and we don't want to have that as something that will have to be a long-term situation. But hopefully we do see, of course, Matt Poitras staying in the NHL for quite some time. But I have a very interesting final update here as well. Fabian Lysell was listed on the Bruins roster as a healthy scratch yesterday. A very interesting turn of events, I guess we could say. Scott McLaughlin put this out. Fabian Lysell is listed on the Bruins game day roster as a scratch. He was not on the ice for the warmups, and there was no official word of a call-up. Now, this was before the game. This wasn't after, so this is not kind of retroactive to the Cole Koepke hit. This is not really going back to anything. But Joe Sacco was asked a question about this in the post-game kind of scrum. This is what he had to say on the topic. A very interesting kind of turn of events and what happened here. It's going to spark up a lot of conversation today, I would bet on. So here's what Joe Sacco had to say on the matter.
But Fabian Lysell was listed as a healthy scratch on today's roster sheet. Just want to know, is there a reason for that? Is he up? Is he not? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the first I've heard of that. Yeah. I'm not aware of that.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
A pretty interesting turn of events. You don't know what that means. Joe Sacco don't know. Maybe it was a paper move. Maybe it was just having the extra forward on the roster. I'm not really sure, but if we have any updates about this, I will bring them to you today in another video. Just a little post-game here now. If any news comes out, remember, I'll have it here first on the channel. Be sure to hit the sub button. Join me here. A lot of Bruins news coming down the pipeline. Remember, we're on the road to 6K. Going to try and hit that by the trade deadline. I know you guys can do it. The sport has been incredible lately with this Boston Bruins team starting to heat up again. It's a very exciting time. But that's all I got this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.